Welcome to the PaleyFest Fall TV Previews. I'm Kelley L. Senior Entertainment Reporter for ESPN, and I'm delighted to be your host for this special conversation celebrating WeTV's highly anticipated series, Tia Mowry, My Next Act. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome members of the series cast and creative team. Joining us, of course, are Tahira Francis, unscripted executive and co-executive producer of Tia Mowry, My Next Act, and series star and executive producer, Tia Mowry. Welcome to you both.
Aw, thank you for having us.
Thanks for doing this. Let's start here. I would love to hear you both talk about the origins of your personal and professional relationship with one another. Tia, let's start with you there. How'd you guys meet?
So, Tahira and we first met when I was actually shopping the idea of my show around, of course, different networks.
Yeah.
And I knew right away that I wanted to work with her. I just feel like she really is great, just being able to tell a story. And I also just felt really safe with her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about
And she's
you?
just very smart, she's really good at what she does.
Yeah.
And she's really good at building a crew, And then also I love that she is a woman and she is a woman of color. And I am so passionate about giving opportunity. So
yeah. I
mm-hmm.
love that. Tahira, what's your version?
Oh,
What made you gravitate toward this incredible woman?
Well, it's so similar, and thank you, Tia. That's so great. But it was the same. We met on a Zoom, and I mean, I think right away, we could really feel the energy. I really, she's infectious in like her laugh and how she approaches things. And I think my first words were like, I always blame my mom because I wanted to be a twin because of you, But, I really admired what she said. The show needed to be developed, but the goals for it, and she wanted to inspire. She wanted to be vulnerable. She wanted to be someone that, women could turn to when they're going through a journey. And right away, we were like, sign me up. I would love to be a part of this. And so, we started working together, and I believe it was an amazing fit. And I'm very, very, grateful to have been on this journey with her.
Oh, thank you, Tahira. Also, I like the way that right from the jump, she allowed me to tell my story. Meaning this show, what was really important to me was that I, came across and told my authentic journey. I'm not trying to fit any trends or anything like that. I want to be truthful to how I feel, and what my journey looks like and what I'm going through. And, she allowed that to happen. And I think it's very important when you are telling your story, to have a partner that, values that and appreciates that and protects that.
Absolutely. And I think that it really resonates in the final product because when I first read about this series, and certainly when I actually screened the first few episodes, I was left thinking that this was really very generous of you to do this. Like it was obvious to me that, you knew this had the potential to be medicinal, I think, for other women out there. But walk me through your process of what made you say you wanted to do this and why this was the perfect time for you to share your journey at this moment in time.
That's a very great question, but I think you already touched on it. I just want to inspire. I want to encourage women and just people in general that are going through some sort of transition in their life. Whether it's, going through a divorce, whether you're transitioning from job to job or state to state. But not only that, I think when I went through, or I'm still healing and I'm still on my journey, I didn't see any representation, meaning I didn't see anyone being vulnerable and telling how did they get through it. Meaning I saw you hear about a lot of stories when it comes to divorce, and then you'll just kind of see them back in a relationship and everything just seems quote unquote fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, how did you get there? How did you get from A to Z? What happened in the middle of that? How did you heal? Did you go to therapy? What is it that what did you do to get you there? So I guess what I'm saying is I just want to help women out there and help people, because I felt alone. I really did. And I don't want anybody else to feel that. So I'm like, if I can be vulnerable and share my story, then maybe I can inspire and help some other women.
Yeah. Your
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability really is a superpower and something that is
Oh,
so admirable. Tahira, did it surprise you how much Tia was willing to be this level of vulnerable and share the story? Because again, I said it was generous of you to do this because you're
yeah.
a powerful mogul businesswoman. You don't have to take us behind
Yeah.
the scenes
Mm-hmm.
and behind the headlines, quite frankly, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
Did that surprise you that she was like, all right, I'm ready to do this and I'm gonna shed everything and just give you all of me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I think, especially as you work on shows, people on shows, but, then it's not authentic or, then you want to stop at some points. And I think the worst part about this is we were dealing with some heavy topics and
Mm-hmm.
emotions and the phases and, that she's working through. But the best thing is it was her vulnerability and being like, this is where I am. And I know if I do this, someone else will feel like it's okay if they're here too, And so I
Yes.
think you really kept that throughout. But it was a shock, but it's so beautiful. And I think it really
Oh,
translates,
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
does. It does. One thing that you said when the show opens that I hadn't thought about as someone who has been a witness to from afar to your
Mm-hmm.
journey is that you've spent so much of your life being part of a duo, and then you met your ex-husband when you were so
Mm-hmm.
young, so you're part of another duo, and this is
Mm-hmm.
the first time that you're really out on your own. I had never
Mm-hmm.
thought about that with regards to your story. What does that feel like for you now? Because you effectively spent 4 decades being
I
part
know.
of a partnership with somebody else.
I know. That's why I said, I feel so alone,
Mm,
It's scary.
mm,
It's hard. Um, it's new.
mm,
I used to think that being in solitude was a punishment.
mm,
And I think this because of the societal pressures, or I feel like I thought this because of societal pressures that are kind of put on women
mm,
as we grow up, meaning as the first kind of movie that we see, a woman is picked and a woman is, chosen. And that is what brings value to her,
mm,
is being in a relationship,
mhm,
is having a partner.
mm.
So when that is taken away, who are you?
Yeah,
Who am I?
yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is I'm starting to feel that being in solitude is where self-discovery,
Mhm,
happens. I'm learning more about myself. Being in solitude is about being courageous.
mm,
And there is nothing wrong with being single.
mhm.
There is nothing wrong with this shift and this change in my life.
Yeah,
Um, so to answer your question, I'm okay
yeah.
with being alone. It
Mm,
took 2 years for me to, get there. Like you said, I have had some sort of partnership pretty much all my life.
yeah,
Um, so I feel stronger than ever. You know what I mean?
mm,
Because I know more about me.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing I was thinking about as you were talking is to hear you not only have this incredible executive background, producing Unscripted, but obviously we know you because you've been in front of the camera too with Growing Up Hip Hop. How did you approach this series, knowing, because you also have, doing this has required you to be vulnerable as well. How did you approach this series with Tia, as someone who has walked the same lanes that she's going to be walking in this? Like you're not someone who is asking your talent to do something that you haven't done yourself before. But tell me what your approach was with working with her for this project.
Yeah, I think you are spot on, Kelley, because I think I used to shy away from, like, as I, produce more and more, telling people about Growing Up Hip Hop, because it's like, am I serious if I was on a show? But, I think that has really translated into a superpower, because it's exactly like you said. I've been in that shoe. I'm not going to ask someone to do something I haven't done. I can understand how it feels when you're in these situations and maybe, confronted, taken off guard, or forced to be vulnerable with something you're still processing.
Yeah.
And I think, with Tia, it was really forming trust and a partnership. I'm asking her to be so vulnerable with, the experiences we're doing on the show, with your memories, with your career in life. And I think it was really important that, we had a strong level of trust, and that each time we were communicating and really staying, on the path of really just making sure this was true to her, and making sure her story stayed hers. So
yeah. And we obviously know that you've done Unscripted before, Tia, but what was it like, first day of shooting this show? Because this show is wildly different than what we saw you do before. Yeah.
I know. Like I said, I was, and I still am, I'm nervous, you know what I mean, for the world to see this side of me, just because I am still healing. My wounds are still open. I'm so incredibly vulnerable. So I was nervous. I was so scared. But this is why I'm saying I feel so blessed to have worked with Tahira and just her crew. Right away, they made me feel so comfortable and so safe. But at the same time, we're having lots of fun on this show. I'm allowing myself to have lots of fun. So it's really been an incredible journey. As I am telling my story and as I want to inspire others, I'm also being inspired, and even just to see like my growth from the beginning of the show and where I am now, and just how I think about love. I'm now, understanding that love, it comes in many different packages and many different ways, that I don't have to just receive love from a man. You know what I mean? Or a partner. So I guess what I'm saying is I'll see a scene and I'm like, oh, that's where I was about 4 months ago, but I'm not there anymore. I'm able to really see my evolution and my growth when it just comes to this whole journey. So it's been, and I keep things real. It's been triggering at times too, because I have to go back, and touch on some topics that are really tough and very hard for me to process. But at the same time, I'm able to see my growth. And again, that's what I hope for others to be inspired by and to see. This show isn't, oh my God, I'm about to get emotional.
It's okay.
This show isn't about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This show is about inspiring women and others. And this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't mean to cry, but
listen, this is why people love you so much, though, Tia. And this is what I meant about this show really being medicinal. And for me, it was just very obvious from the very beginning. Like,
thank you.
This is about all the women who text me things like protect Tia at all costs while dropping in like a fun reel that you've shared on Instagram, and I think that not only people who have already connected with you are going to feel that way, but you're going to, bring in some new people who are going to find themselves in this series. Did you carry that with you as you guys were shooting? Were you thinking like, here I am being so raw and vulnerable in this moment, but maybe, just maybe, there's going to be like a woman in Michigan that's going to see this and feel something from it, and it's going to maybe change their life because of it.
Again, that is why, yes, that was constantly on my mind. And to be honest with you, that's what got me through this. I am who I am, meaning I don't look at my celebrity status for myself. Like, fame without purpose to me is very dangerous. So like I said, I am doing this to inspire others. And Tahira, I don't even know if you want to share, like, you don't have to get personal, but I think Tahira was even saying that as I was talking to her and as she was producing me, she was inspired by what was, coming out of my mouth,
No, 100%. And I think, as Tia said, especially in the hard moments, it'd be a reminder. It's like, okay, why are you doing this? And this is why. Like, it sucks. Sometimes you want to clam up. Sometimes you're not ready. And she'd be like, nope, but this is the purpose. And that would be the reminder of everything and when we're shaping it as well. And yeah, I think firsthand from when we started developing to each step as we were producing and going through these moments. And I mean, men and female alike on our crew, we are like, we've gone to therapy today, y'all.
Right.
We
that is true. Yeah. I remember Orlando, the cameraman, came up to me and said that I had inspired him in some way too. But go ahead. Sorry to hear.
Yeah. No, it's okay, because I think, your story and what we're sharing is really, it is about navigating a hard time and journeys. And it's your career, it is your motherhood, it is relationships, and celebrity or not, we can all relate to that. And you also just strip down and you're like, here I am. And so it really does make it for anyone, anywhere, going through, anything.
Yeah. You guys use the word I was going to bring up next, which was therapeutic. Like, doing this series had to be very therapeutic for not just you, Tia, but also for everyone else, that worked on this show. Is there like some, not necessarily a revelation, but something that maybe surprised you during the course of filming this that sticks with you right now? Like, God, I didn't even know that about myself until I did this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When I saw the first 2 episodes, I was like, Tia, you are strong. So many people, I would hear them say it. My community, my audience, even my mother, my family, they're like, Tia, you are handling this well. But deep inside, I'm like, really? Am I? But I think this is why just visualization is so important. Observation. They say that children learn through observation, and I'm literally learning through observation as an adult, observing myself. Meaning I'm like, damn, Tia, like, you are strong. You are able to, no matter what you're going through, you are able to stand on your mark. You are able to focus. You are able to multitask. You are able to juggle. There's a lot of news that are happening in my life. I've never been a single mom before.
Right.
And to be able to juggle like work, and I wear so many different hats as an actor, as an entrepreneur, and then shooting this reality show, and then at the end of the day I'm stripping everything down and I'm just mom, and being able to be present for my children. It's a lot of work. It's a lot to navigate. And people would tell me, Tia, you're doing a good job. But I think visually seeing it, I'm like, wow, Tia, look at you. You're doing the damn thing. Like, you are actually getting through this. So I think that's the thing that, that again, I'm inspiring myself, as I'm seeing myself go through, this journey. And I think that's the power of storytelling. That's the power of being vulnerable.
One thing that I really love, thank you for sharing all of that.
No problem.
One thing that I really love about this series, one of the nuances or the elements that I want to get a little nerdy about,
Okay.
are the diary, like in the dark moments. Was that something that the two of you talked through and collaborated with? Because it's one thing to have confessionals that we see in docuseries a lot of times, but doing that just felt like you really put us on the couch, you know what I mean? In a way that we don't normally get to we don't get to hear what somebody prays at before they go to sleep at night, or what they talk about with their therapist. But it really felt like you put us there in a way that people may not be expected to experience. Was that something that the two of you worked through together as producers, saying, what would be a great nugget to add? It would be this, or how did that come about?
Tahira, you want to answer that?
Yeah. I think, we start filming and, you always create a plan and it goes somewhere else, and I think, we started filming and it's already raw and it's very vulnerable. But I think what Tia and I really kind of discovered was, one, she's very insightful and, and really does like to talk and engage. And part of it is just talking it through. So how do you do that in the best way and capacity? And I think we almost happened upon it through a conversation between us, and we're like, hold on, this is gold here. Like, this is when you are you and we see you, and this is who she is. This is who she likes to present, but she is still who she is, and so we see the other side. And I think as we kept progressing, we were like, this really does get to the heart of some things, and it's also, the whole point is to make sure she's heard. And I think this was a really great way to just say, this is where I'm at right now, and take a second and go through it. And, I think we found it really, really worked, and we've had fun with them. Yeah. Well, they're hard. They're really tense.
I was just about to say. They, I really, really feel that is where the unfiltered moments really, really do happen, because we are breaking that fourth wall and really stripping down and saying, at the end of the day, yes, this is a show, but this is my life. And my life isn't a show. My life is my life, and again, I think it just adds to the authenticity and what I wanted this show to be, and again, that's why I really, really liked working with Tahira, because she just allowed it to flow. She allowed it to be. And I think, again, that's where magic happens, when you're just yourself and when you're just honest. And that's what those moments they give you.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank
you.
I said,
that's one of my favorite elements of the show. I'm like,
oh, thank you.
This is different. This is great. This is and not great from just an entertaining perspective, but really great because it's insightful, and it also it's going to be the thing that I think is going to launch many group chats as they watch this series. Like, girl, when she said that,
yeah.
I think that's going to be really relatable. To that, Tahira, what is it that you really hope that viewers take away from the series, like from each episode, even? Like, what's the thing that to you communicates we did what we set out to do?
I think if people view and feel uplifted, and I know that's like a bigger word, but I think the hope for this show was, there is a lot going on in the world in general. You turn on, it's crazy. And then in terms of our own personal lives, and I think, if people really are able to witness someone's journey, someone who looks like them, someone who's experiencing things that they too can relate to, and feel like it's heard. And it's just like how you were saying in these diary cams, like, we're in her bedroom, you're feeling like, yeah, we're having a conversation. Like, you're really understanding, this is hard for me right now, and it's okay if something is hard for you too. I feel like that'll really make a difference. And that's what I hope translates and would make me very, very proud, because I think there isn't enough of it out there. And sometimes you want to watch something, and even if it's rough and you're navigating, you feel good and you're like, you know what? I'm going to take another stab tomorrow and try to kick butt tomorrow, because, you know, I've seen it's hard, but I'm seeing someone do it.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, that's my goal. And I love when I can be really proud of work that I do, where it's like, you'd feel good.
You know, Tia, you've been part of our lives for so long. We all grew up with Tia,
Girl.
right? You said you're mad at your mom because you wanted to be a twin, right? We feel that we've been a part of your lives for so long, and taking us on this new journey, I think it's going to endear people even more to you. And I feel like the question that people want to know right now is, who is Tia today?
Oh, girl. Oof, that is a really, really good question. I think what I can say is Tia is a person who is very passionate about continuing to be a work in progress. I just want to continue to grow. I just want to continue to evolve and, you know, walk in authenticity and in myself. Tia is an amazing mother. I'm so strong, and I'm so just proud of the woman that I am becoming today. I am making, and I put it on my Instagram I think yesterday, I am making little Tia proud right now. I said this on Instagram too. I feel like I have been in a place where I was always kind of looking behind me or looking too much in front of me. Meaning, when you look behind, you can fall into a place of depression because you're looking in the past. If you look too much in the future, that's where anxiety really starts to set in or to settle. And you could see it as, I see it as also me trying to inspire to be, right? Who does Tia want to be? What is it that she wants to become? But now I'm side by side with whatever it is that Tia wants in her life. And that to me means I am living my truth. I am living the life that I've always wanted to live.
Yeah.
And that takes courage. That takes you being radically honest with yourself. That takes you looking inward. And so I feel like that is who Tia is today. And I have like an incredible amount of peace that I haven't felt, you know, in my life for a long time. So I guess what I'm saying, you know, Tia is walking in her truth, and Tia is living the life that she's wanted to live, continuing to inspire, continuing to do what it is that she loves to do, being a creative. I feel so blessed that I'm still, you know, in the game. And I've always wanted to be a mother, you know, and I'm continuing to evolve and grow as you know, the best mom that I could possibly be. And so I can say that, you know, I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place.
That's beautiful. Here, you got to see some of that evolution over the course of filming this series. What stands out to you about Tia's journey and who she is today?
You know, I think Tia said a lot, and it's true, and it is about recognition of self-strength and self-power, and also, you know, not being afraid to not know because it helps you know.
Yeah.
You know, I think on this journey, you know, we all are really figuring it out in life. And I think especially as women, especially if women of color, it's like, should I have done this already? Should I have known this already? And like you get to a point in life, and I think kids change it in marriage, and to really see from start to finish, it's like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I know this. Or and finding that there's nothing wrong in the vulnerable ways. I think you noticed it more and more, where it's okay. You know, we were talking about this yesterday. It's okay to lean on your village. It makes you stronger. We don't have to be the societal view of what makes women strong. And I think, you know, that was definitely present on set. Like, we will get through today.
Yeah, no, it's really true. It's true. Yeah. Just having faith that everything will be, having faith that everything will work itself out and everything will eventually be okay. And all is well, you know, all is well.
Now, here's the thing. The show is great. It's inspiring. It's gonna like inspire so many group chats. It's gonna, you know, do all of these things, but it also is fun. So I would love to hear from you guys, maybe like a really fun memory or something fun that happened that you guys just really loved, that particular scene or that moment, you know, that we're gonna see play out on the series.
Well, there's a lot of firsts, you know, on the show, and I had never gone to like Magic Mike before.
Really?
No, I've never opened up myself in that way. So just to, you know, go to Vegas with my girls and just, you know, hang and just like have fun and not think about anything, not think about work. And just really, really enjoy yourself. I had a good time. I think I even told you that after that night, I slept very well. It had been a minute, you know what I mean, since I had a lot of fun. I'm very motivated, work driven, very focused in that way. And you know, I need to learn how to have more fun. And that was the first time I had ever done anything like that. So yeah, and then to go with your girlfriends, like I had never done a girl trip ever in my life at 46 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I had never done a girl trip. So to just go with, you know, some girls to Vegas, it was really, really a good time.
That's fun. Did you have a fun moment that you loved bearing witness to?
We had a lot, and I think that's what the great thing about this show is almost we never stop rolling, so you see all of the funny. And you know, at each point there's always an obstacle, and I think I don't know how to say it without giving it away. The producer in me is like, stop talking.
Okay.
But
which I get, which I respect. Yeah.
I think a lot of my funny moments are coming from, you know, Tia's reactions to when people, animals, you know, they're animals in this show, and yeah, and I think we have a lot of like, did this just happen? And we keep rolling and we keep going. So.
Yeah, there are a lot of crazy funny moments. You know, I think that's the part too. I knew that people said I was a funny person, but I didn't realize how silly and goofy and crazy I am, you know, and that's okay. That is okay. That is who I am. That's what I'm saying. I'm showing myself and, you know, it's all about being authentic. And yeah, that was funny. I know what moment you're talking about.
Yeah. And I think on that really quick, I'd also love to shout out, you know, the entire crew. And as you said about the diary cam, we break the fourth wall a lot. And, you know, we really became a family in the months of filming. And I think those are also really great moments when, you know, we turn the camera on the cameraman and we are all here in the bathroom figuring this out, and we're here, you know, and so I really think, you know, the entire crew, our DP, our other executive producers, everyone, camera, everyone came and showed up. You know, we filmed sometimes and we did a group prayer and we're like, bless us for all being here for each other, and putting our best foot forward, because a lot's going on, but we made every day fun.
Yeah, we did.
And it shows, yeah.
I was gonna say it shows up in the final product. Before I let you you women go, if you can, it's probably the most difficult question I'll ask you, but if you can sum up this series in 5 words.
Ooh, well,
Words would be you?
definitely unscripted. Inspiring. Yep. Raw. Funny. There is some funny moments. And I will say, or do you want to say something, Tahira, or
we're saying the same thing? So
yeah,
I think
a lot of heart. There's
heartfelt.
a lot of,
I literally was gonna say heartfelt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So we said inspiring, funny,
unfiltered,
and unscripted.
and raw.
Oh
yeah. No, yeah.
That works. That works for me.
Yeah.
Well, again, great job with this series. I think it's gonna, just do so many great things. It's so good.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, of
Thank
course,
you
for joining us for this special
thanks,
PaleyFest
Kelley.
Fall TV previews conversation with WeTV's Tia Mowry, my next act. You can enjoy more of these programs by clicking the subscribe button below. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.